We did it. We're in PEI. Find out how we got here. Next. Hello and welcome to On the Move. We are Matt and Betsy, and we are on an adventure to relocate our family from Ontario to Prince Edward Island. And today we are in our trailer. We were too nervous to do this outside in the campground that we're staying at the moment. And we're on the island.
We're here.
We made it.
We made it. Oh my goodness.
Obviously, we've got a lot to talk about. How we got here, things we're grateful for, and a few things we learned along the way. We traveled for 3 days.
Yes.
We took it slow, moderately slow. You can do it in two comfortably.
I would say still steady though.
Yeah,
it
steady.
Was. Yeah.
It was. And we did it with, of course, there's the two of us, our two girls, and our two dogs.
Yeah.
So we made sure we had good breaks along the way, stopped for good rest at night.
Yes.
So
the trailer was taken care of by Matthew and our oldest, and our youngest rode with me in the little Fit.
It was a good pairing, I think, to have,
Yes.
You guys had the fun and the silly and stuff, and we had the quiet and the calm, and then a lot of music. Well, until it became music time, and then it was like sing-along karaoke in the truck as we bounced down
all
the
her
road.
soundtracks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a few things we discovered along the way for you. If you're making the trip at all, I know that the Atlantic provinces are now welcoming people because they rely somewhat on tourism. So if you're thinking of coming from anywhere outside of that Atlantic bubble, outside of Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, then there's a few hoops you have to jump through, but it's definitely worth it.
Yes.
So New Brunswick, as I talked about last time, we had to register our travel, and I was all ready. We came to the border of New Brunswick, and I wanted our oldest to like do a little snapshot video of the border before we got there, and all of a sudden we missed it. I thought there was going to be a checkpoint that we'd have to go through. Nothing.
No.
So if you're traveling into New Brunswick, yes, you need to make sure you register your travel.
But we have heard, we do know of other friends who did run into a checkpoint. So
yeah, maybe they just
I don't
recently
know. Just
have
depends on the situation. I'd still say be prepared. Check before you go. Make sure you have any permits you might need, and then just go with the flow.
Yeah. Now, Prince Edward Island, when we got there, we came up onto the bridge, and that
Which I have to talk about for just a moment.
Okay.
Because I was telling some friends how very nervous I was about the bridge. But it was really easy. You're going down the highway, you have some signs that tell you, as usual, last turn off before the bridge. And I was getting all ready to okay, we'll have to stop and do this checkpoint and then go across this bridge. No, all of a sudden the highway was the bridge, and we were going, and in the Fit, it was fantastic. I could hardly see a thing. So that was great. My youngest was peeking up over the edge.
Yeah,
yes, in the truck you could definitely see. So.
We later on we were doing some bridge stuff in the Fit with my oldest daughter, and she's like, I can't see anything. What's going on here? Because in the truck we were
other
up
bridges.
Nice and high.
Other bridges. We didn't head back across. No, but there's definitely still some bridges here on the island.
So we discovered when we got onto you actually get onto the island, they veer you off of the Trans-Canada Highway, and they tell you to line up in certain lines, and then you actually go through a whole check process. We had to show our PEI pass. At that point, they registered us, and then they do a rapid test, a nasal swab.
Yes.
Not a deep one, just
but still, outside. I mean, they can still give a good swab.
Yeah, they do. But they round and round and round.
Everyone is very polite and kind, and it's still a welcome feel, as one of our girls noted, because we've traveled into the States before, and we've done some international travel, and she's like, my goodness, they were so nice. Like, usually border control is so like stern and they don't smile. So I had to explain to her this was not border patrol. We're not entering a different country. They're not here being crazy security guards. This is about everybody's safety and looking after each other. So it very much had that atmosphere to it. So I greatly appreciated that. It was not a scary or intimidating experience at all.
Yeah. And on a lighter, less serious note, I've discovered, because I love to cook, getting here, we did a grocery store shop on the first night.
We were tired. We were so tired.
The girls were cranky while I was grocery shopping, but we had to do it. I picked up some PEI mussels, because that's something they're famous for here, and cooked them up, and
tonight.
It went really well.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
my goodness.
shocked that, like, I like mussels, so whether I'd done a good or bad job, I would have enjoyed them. But all the girls
We did a little
them.
touring today. We'll explain that a little further later. But along the food line, we also popped into a little takeout place up in North Rustico. The Yellow House, I believe, is what it's called. And it was delightful.
Yellow House Takeout.
Yellow House Takeout.
I think we might have a picture that we can show.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So went in there, lots of pastry kind of things, couple of sandwiches the girls were able to choose from. But Matthew and I enjoyed what she called an Acadian pot pie. No, not pot pie. Acadian. Oh my goodness. No,
hand pie.
Hand pie. Yes.
Acadian hand
which
pie.
was delicious. Pulled pork with this wonderful little apple sauce.
Yeah,
kind
like
of.
sautéed apples,
Yeah,
sweet
and
apple
then all
thing.
baked in this deliciously crisp pastry. We love food, so as we go forward, if we're talking about our new food experiences, it's because we love to eat, bake, cook, you name it.
Yeah.
Anyway, delicious. So all in one day, 2 amazing island experiences with food.
And then the other discovery for our girls was the tide.
Ah, yes. So mid-morning. So we arrived here last evening. They went out to the dock and were delighted to discover crabs. They wanted to know everything about crabs. Will they bite me? Will they? And I had to. I don't know. I don't have experience with crabs. So they were having fun with that. They were all prepared to go out this afternoon when we got back from our little trip, which we'll talk about later. They had their new buckets and their nets that they picked up at the dollar store. They're all ready to go crab catching, and they come back to the trailer absolutely annoyed. The water is not in the same place. It's gone way out. It's all mud. They can't understand what happened to the river, and so we're trying to explain.
It's like it's never gonna. Yeah, it's gone.
It was awful.
It's done.
It was gone. No more fun. The crabs are all gone. So we're trying to explain the tide, and it will repair itself. It will come back this evening. So they had the great fun discovery that the tide goes out and the tide comes in, and delighted to discover it happens on a daily basis, not like 4 seasons. So anyway, that was fun.
Success. Three little crabs that they
managed
they
to
caught.
They let them go. We didn't do anything with them, but they were delighted to find them and just explore. Yeah.
All right. I think as we work through this process of explaining, we'll talk about highs and lows of what we've done here. So.
So we'll go with lows first. Of course, saying goodbye to many of you who I'm sure are watching was challenging. It was emotional for our girls too, to I think just watch adults process that and see how that works. And to say we're not going to say goodbyes, to say our see you laters, but we don't have an exact return date at this time. So just, there was definitely some sadness with that and some tears and some big emotions. So for us to work through those and them to work through them, and I've continued to assure them that it is okay to feel sad. We are not going to feel happy here all the time. This is where real life is, and real life includes sadness. It includes missing people. It includes bad days. So just preparing them to allow themselves to experience that and to know that that's normal and okay. And we will also have exciting, adventurous times as well.
For me, that the low, I would say of the whole process, like planning it and all the things we've done, that has been the hardest thing, is this say goodbye or see you laters for people. Definitely, that was the low.
Yeah. For sure. We have good people in our life, and we know that, and we recognize that. And there is this delicate, strange balance between being adventurers and wanting to experience this great big world of ours, but also staying connected to people and experiencing that connectedness, which I think is very important and valuable. And we want our girls to understand the importance of relationship and allowing yourself to develop those, and and allow those to have some elasticity to them too. So yeah.
And so connected to that, our highs for this week, I think we're going to do a list of gratitude here because there are so many things have gone well, and not really due to ourselves, I think, due to the other people around us that support us throughout this process.
Yeah. So a couple of things. First off, I was extremely grateful for the weather. Traveling with a big rig for the first time through some potentially windy areas and on some highways where you are high above the tree line and below and in and out of valleys and stuff. We had amazing weather, beautiful sun, a tiny bit of rain, not much at all, and practically no wind, which is actually quite strange for this beautiful country of ours. So that was amazing. You can talk about your one little bit of wind that you hit there.
I could tell when we hit wind, and the only place was we chose to come to PEI through New Brunswick, right down close to the border of Nova Scotia, and that's where the Bay of Fundy is. And they have warnings there that you can experience high winds. They didn't have the flashing going. It wasn't really high, but it was high enough that I was feeling it, and I had to really slow down in order to keep things safe.
I could see it a little bit from the back end. But again, so more gratitude. We are thankful we went with the recommended sway bars kit that they offered us with the trailer. It went, I believe that those definitely helped, and were great there.
And the truck performed the way that we hoped it would,
yes,
too.
Chunk. Chunk did his job beautifully. We're impressed. I mean, he's not the youngest of guys out there. You know, sometimes these middle-aged guys know what they're doing. So anyway, just very grateful for the truck and its performance and its ability to kind of do what the tow package promised it would do. Yeah.
Grateful for truck stops too.
Yes, we had some amazing ones. And truck stops are not, I mean, I'm sure you can find the not so great ones, but there are some good ones out there. There are people who have decided to really clean those up and provide well-lit, clean, just comfortable places, because they recognize that RVs are using these as well.
Safe spaces.
Safe spaces, It felt, we didn't feel at risk in them at all, or, they were really nice. We had a great one in, where did we hit our first one?
The first one was Cornwall, Ontario.
And then the second one was Edmundston, New Brunswick.
And we realized that truck stopping now is a lot different and a lot more cushy than it was before. Having a trailer is a lot different than when we were in our younger days. And
what was our first one? I think the first time we truck stopped, we did it in our Honda Civic.
Yeah, Honda Civic.
Just laid the seats back and called it a night.
Too cheap to go anywhere else, you know. Yeah.
And then we upgraded to the Dodge, the van, with a mattress in the back and some screens in the window.
Yeah, we thought that was fancy.
And then we did it in
now, it's so easy. You got your bathroom with you. And
we did dishes. We cooked a whole meal on the stove top.
Yeah.
You did a pizza in the oven.
I did.
Yeah.
So, but if you're gonna do truck stops, I guess that's really the way to do it. Either be there as a trucker, in a truck, or an RV.
Yeah. Makes the best use of them.
Yeah. And then other things that we're thankful for as well, continuing on with that list, our real estate agent. Yeah. Now that we've got here, she knew our timeline. We had told her that ahead of time. And she has booked off a couple of days so that she's basically helping us out one-on-one. Yeah. Making sure that she's available anytime we need her. So we got here, slept, and then the next morning we were off looking at houses. Yeah. Because obviously we don't have one yet. Which is, now we have the advantage that we can actually see them in person. We can smell them. We can touch them.
So when we make the decision, we will be confident in that decision. Yeah. And there'll be no, she doesn't have to worry that that's on her or anything of that sort. So,
and I've noticed her change in the way she does things too, because we can make the observations ourselves. So she's changed the way she does things, which is nice too, that she can make that adjustment. So we've seen a couple. We're going to see a couple more with her. And we're hopeful all the time with it, but
we have to be. We stay hopeful.
Yeah.
Take
it a step at a time.
We could start panicking, but we're not going to. No. I can't lie. I have moments that it is definitely weighing on me. I would really like this house thing sorted out. Anyone who is in regular communication with me knows that. But I'm also on a great journey of faith here, and I'm being stretched and I'm being challenged, and I need to just go with it and see it through to the end. And I know that I will. So we will together.
Yeah.
It'll be
And
all good in the end.
That's our what's next is part of
Yes.
this is finding a house.
Yeah.
And then also we have 2 weeks booked already in the way of camping. We're going to make use of this trailer that we have. We're going to see some of the province, and we're going to just enjoy being out by these tidal rivers and touring around a little bit with our girls.
And playing with them.
Yeah.
Just, when they want to go to the pool, take them to the pool. If they want to play at the river, play at the river. Lucy has already, she's quite confident she spotted a seal. We were a little unsure whether that is likely. Sure enough, I pulled out Google and I looked it up, and yes, Murray River is in fact a place where one can see seals, as well as the owner here at the campground confirmed that for her. Yeah. So already we are on a great road to just seeing and experiencing things we have not experienced before.
Yeah. And the campground we're at is called Ocean Acres. Might as well put a link for that down as well.
It's small.
But cute.
Super cute. So they're
Quaint.
doing a great job.
Yeah.
I would say they've put a lot of work into it in the last couple of years. There's probably, I think there's about 4 or 5 cottages that can be rented year round.
Yeah, year round.
And I was told here in the winter there's skidoo trails. They make a rink. They flood their whole parking lot so that you have a rink. So that's pretty cool. They've got a lovely pool here. They have the dock down to the river.
And they've got a restaurant called The Deck that we're excited to try. Actually, tonight while we do this, we've sent our girls out to get ice cream there. We're going to get a report later on.
We'll see what it's like. Yeah. So, and we're going to do hopefully a dinner there, and they also serve breakfast. So we'll do that. And their restaurant is open year round as well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty exciting and
fun. It was super nice. Yeah. My first experience here actually parking in a campground, parking this rig. And I get up and the guy's like, okay, we're going to put you here and I'm going to direct you in. I'm like, okay.
Back you in.
He's going to back me in. We were never done this before.
We were kind of hoping for a pull through, but
or something we could kind of hide and do it ourselves and nobody would watch.
No. It was right up front. Matthew was a champ though. He had him pull forward a few times and back, and that was mostly just he wanted to get him in a very
specific idea.
But Matthew did it. Within I think three little pulls in and out, you were there, and it was great. So that was good, and I didn't have to do the directing for the very first part. And then we've got our accommodation here with the sewer, the electrical, the water. It's all here. It's all great. Matthew's excellent research and purchasing to make sure we have the proper equipment for that. Some advice from my dad, who does trailering on a regular basis. Some from Matthew's uncle. All just very helpful, and we're so glad for the equipment that was given to us or suggested and recommended to us. Again, just so much
more gratitude
to be grateful.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to miss things, and we'll hopefully reach out and talk to those specific people as well. So.
Yeah, I think that was the dog is out there having a little bit of fun, and I think she just bumped into the trailer. Anyway, the girls are with her. Hopefully she's okay.
Okay. Well, why don't we end with a Betsy's Corner piece?
So I don't have a house, and sometimes I need something to calm my mind, calm my brain, and also just incite my creativity. So I showed a few episodes back some of the pillows that I'm working on in cross stitch and needlepoint. So this is a different one. You haven't actually seen this one yet. But this is Matthew's for the month of June, the little June gnome there. A yellow rose to go with June, and I'm loving it. I'm doing a houndstooth background, which is taking forever, but I love it. So anyway, that's the little Betsy's Corner update. I haven't actually completed any of the projects I've showed you yet, so I do not have anything finished to show you, but I will once I do.
So more adventures to come, more PEI to come. Thank you for watching with us, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.